Hello, this is the 6th video in creating a Fighting Fantasy style game in AGS. Now we built our player creation GUI and we had it all set up ready to go for coding, so let's get started. So let's go and create some global variables. I'm going to create a dozen or so. This will be a string and we're going to go player name. We're going to leave it blank. And we're going to create a number of integer values. So this is going to be stamina. Set that to 0. And we'll do skill. Set that to 0. We'll do sanity. Set that to 0. And we'll do, while we're here, we may as well do health, which is the hit points of our player. Okay. So here we have, we'll get the player name box working. So we can see that the name of the text entry box is text_box_player name. So we'll do that in the repeatedly execute of our room. So if we click on the little lightning bolt and click on repeatedly execute, that's going to create this function for us. And we're going to do, so it's going to be player name, which is the global variable we just created, is going to be equal to, so we're going to be writing a value to it, and it's going to be textbox_player name dot text. So we're going to be storing that text into the player name. So let's start storing the other values. So when we hit the roll button and roll the dice, it's going to set a value into those global variables that we created, but we need to display them to the player. So let's, so we'll go back and have a look at this. We'll do the stamina last because I've got to tweak the dice roller a little bit. So it's L skill result. That's the name of the label. So we'll do L skill result dot text, so that's the text field of the label. Is going to be string dot format, because we're writing we're pulling some information from a variable, and it's going to be %d, which is which means it is an integer value. And we're going to, and now what it's looking for is the variable name. So we're going to go with skill. So whatever's in the skill variable will be displayed here. And we'll do the same with our stamina. So for our sanity. So sanity dot text. So we'll do string dot format. String dot format, and again %d because it's a variable, integer, and it's going to be sanity. Brilliant. So let's tweak the dice roller a little bit. So at the moment we've got roll 1d6 and we have roll 2d6. At the moment it's only rolling essentially one 6-sided dice and storing it there. That's no good because we need to roll 2 dice for it. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that we zero out any stored information that's in our first dice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll our 1d6. So we're literally calling the function that's above this one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add them together. So d6_2. And because we're adding the two values together, we use a plus equals. And it's going to be d6_1. So we have our d6_2, which now has a value that was created from one of these randoms. and then we're adding our D6 1 to it. So there we go. So that's that fixed. So if that makes sense. So then what we can do is we can do the hold stamina dot text equals string dot format, and we'll do the usual stamina. So now we have our 3 values being displayed to the player. So it'll be updating the text in those labels. We'll save that. So at the moment, the player is beginning in page 1. That's no good. We want to change his starting room to be the player creation. So we also want to display the player creation. So I think I've switched the visibility off on the GUI as default. Yeah, so if we switch the visibility of the actual GUI to be false, so it starts off by default. If we go into our room and the enters room before fade in, I'm just going to move this in front of the repeatedly execute. I like things to be in order, and then we're just going to display that player creation GUI. Creation1 dot visible equals true. So we're going to display the GUI, and then it's going to show those details. So we can give that a try. So let's do it. Let's run the game. So we can type our name, Bob, Jeff. So let's roll our skill. Oh, we need to actually create the buttons, don't we? So so if we click on the button in the GUI, you'll see, if we click on the little lightning bolt, the events, you'll see that there's an on-click event. So let's click on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do we're going to roll our d6. So so we're going to do roll d6. That's that function we created to roll the dice, and then we're literally just going to go skill equals d6 underscore 1. So whatever value was is now stored in d6 1 variable is now being passed to the skill. And we'll do the same with sanity. So roll d6 1, and it's going to be sanity equals d6 underscore 1, and we'll do the stamina, and that's going to be roll 2d6, and we're going to do stamina equals d6 underscore 2, because we have the 2 values now being added together. Now we can test this. So Bob, Jeff. Let's roll our skill. So there we go. We're rolling our skill. It's creating a random number and storing it. We'll roll our sanity, and we will roll stamina. So we rolled a 7, a 10, a 6, an 8, 10, 6, 4, 11, 7. Brilliant. So what we want to do though is stop the player from clicking the button again, so they can only press these buttons once. So all we need to do is we just go to our GUI, we take the button's name, b-roll stam. So I'm just going to go b-roll stam dot enabled, which is a bool, equals false, and that'll switch that button off. So b roll sanity dot enabled equals false. And we'll do the same here. So b, that's skill, isn't it? That wasn't stamina. Skill. So b roll stam dot enabled equals false. So if we run it again, when we click it, it's going to grey out because that's just the option that we've picked in our setup, which we can change. So there we go. And I think that's enough for that video. That's the bare bolts of our screen 1 of our player creation completed. I hope that you found that informative, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.